Hello everyone, Old Weezer is here making a very important video today. I am going to be talking about why Mr. Crocker deserves to be in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. He really deserves to be a racer if there is a third game in the series. Let me go over my reasoning now.
Good news, Turner! You've taken F to a new level. I'm going to give you a Super F!
Mr. Crocker is a main villain in the Fairly OddParents. Probably the best villain and well known in my opinion. The Fairly OddParents was one of Nickelodeon's most popular shows, even becoming Nickelodeon's second longest aired show with new episodes from 2001 to 2017. The show is about Timmy Turner, a miserable kid who no one understands, getting fairy godparents that grant his every wish to make his life less miserable. Timmy and his fairies, Cosmo and Wanda, get into many different situations involving Timmy's wishes, either good or bad. The obvious choice for a character to represent the series in Nickelodeon Kart Racers would be Timmy Turner. He is the main character of the show, but another character deserves to join him, Mr. Crocker. Mr. Crocker is Timmy's teacher and also fairy hunter. Mr. Crocker has spent his entire life trying to capture fairies and prove their existence to the world. He spends most of his time trying to prove they exist by going after Timmy and his fairies. He knows fairies exist, because he used to have them too. He used his fairies to do some good for others, becoming the town's hero. Due to Timmy Turner traveling back in time and messing with the timeline, his fairies were revealed to the world. This caused George and Von Strangle to erase everyone's memory, including Crocker's. This incident caused Crocker to become disfigured and be the most hated person in town. He only remembered the existence of fairies, because he had a damaged picture that triggered his memory back. This photo of their existence drove him insane, causing him to devote his entire life to prove the existence of fairies. Sadly, Mr. Crocker victories always become undone.
Fairy godparents! Admit it! You have fairy godparents!
When looking at other potential characters to represent the Fairly OddParents, Mr. Crocker is the best choice in my opinion. When thinking about other characters from the Fairly OddParents, you would probably think about Cosmo and Wanda being perfect racers. In my opinion, they would be better represented being pit crew members. Pit crew members helps the racer by giving a power increase in a different category. Cosmo and Wanda represents that mechanic really well. A fairy's purpose is to help their child when it need them by granting their wishes. The same can be said about Poof and Sparky. Chester and AJ have kinda just disappeared around the middle of the series run, better fitting as pit crew. Chloe was introduced by the series' end, but was probably the most hated new addition to the entire series. The only two characters that could rival Crocker would be Vicky and Timmy's dad. In the beginning of the show, Vicky was considered to be the main villain of the series by many. She was even one of the major reasons why Timmy needed fairies in the first place. In Channel Chasers, Vicky even took over the world. After the first few seasons though, she was eventually used less more each season. Crocker really took her place as main villain, all the way to the end of the series. Timmy's dad also grew as a more important character in the series. Timmy's dad even had an important role in the final episode of the series. Timmy's dad became more dumb over time, even unaware of the most obvious evidence of fairies. This caused him to join many of Timmy's adventures. He is basically a comic relief character and meme character with the "if I had one" meme. Sadly, Timmy's dad's meme status has been gone, at least for now. Mr. Crocker also has a lot to bring to the table for new content. Mr. Crocker's mother would be a perfect pit crew member, along with Mr. Crocker's girlfriend, this hairless cat. Mr. Crocker also has his iconic fairy hunting vehicle. It even has went through many different designs over the years.
Pop quiz!
That's a yes.
Quick! What is the daily recommended dosage of vitamin B12? Too late! F's for everyone! It's an F-a-palooza! All you can eat F's!
Wow! Look at all the failure!
In conclusion, I think Mr. Crocker deserves to be in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. Mr. Crocker had his life ruined by Timmy Turner. Mr. Crocker became the main villain of the series. Mr. Crocker has been there at the beginning, all the way to the end of the series. Mr. Crocker has his own vehicle and pit crew. In my opinion, it's time for Mr. Crocker to prove himself on the tracks against all the racers. What do you all think? Should Mr. Crocker be in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3, if there is one? Thank you all for watching.
I know fairies exist, and someday I'm gonna catch one! They can't hide from me forever!